Former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey recently announced his vision for a new decentralized web platform that is being called Web 5.0. What is Web 5.0? Where is Web 4.0? And is this the end of Web 3.0? We will see in this video. Before we get into what is Web 5.0, it is important for us to first know what are the previous versions of the web. First being Web 1. Web 1.0 is the World Wide Web or the Internet that was invented in 1989. It became popular in 1993. The Internet in the Web 1.0 days was mostly static web pages where users would go to a website and then read and interact with the static information. Even though there were e-commerce websites in the initial days, it was still a closed environment and the users themselves could not create any content or post reviews on the internet. Web 1.0 lasted until 1999. Then came Web 2.0. Web 2.0 started in some form in the late 1990s itself, though 2004 was when most of its features were fully available. It is still the age of Web 2.0 now. The differentiating characteristic of Web 2.0 compared to Web 1.0 is that users can create content. They can interact and contribute in the form of comments, likes, sharing, and uploading their photos or videos and perform other such activities. Primarily, a social media kind of interaction is the differentiating trait of Web 2.0. Now, the era of Web 3.0. The model, a decentralized internet to be run on blockchain technology, would be different from the versions in use Web 1.0 and Web 2.0. In Web 3, users will have ownership stakes in the platforms and applications, unlike now where tech giants control the platforms. Gavin Wood, the founder of Ethereum, used the term Web 3 first in 2014, and in the past few years many others have added to the idea of Web 3. In 2021, owing to the popularity of cryptocurrency, more discussions happened on Web 3. Now coming back to our main question, what is Web 5.0? Web 5.0 is aimed at building an extra decentralized web that puts you in control of your data and identity. Simply put, Web 5.0 is Web 2.0 plus Web 3.0 that will allow users to own their identity on the internet and control their data. So the term Web 5.0 came by adding Web 2 and Web 3, and thus Web 4.0 is skipped and we have jumped to Web 5.0, at least for now. And just to let you know, Web 4.0 is still an underground idea in progress. Okay, now coming back to Web 5.0. Both Web 3.0 and Web 5.0 envision an internet without the threat of censorship from governments or big tech, and without fear of significant outages. Now let's see what's the difference between Web 5.0 and Web 3.0. Web 3.0 isn't truly decentralized or owned by its users, but is instead controlled by various venture capitalists and limited partners. Now let's see what are the various use cases for Web 5.0. First being changing the control of identity. You hold a digital wallet that securely manages your identity, data, and authorization for external apps and connections. You use your wallet to sign in to a new decentralized social media app. Because you have connected to the app with your decentralized identity, you don't need to create a profile, and all the connections, relationships, and posts you create through the app are stored with you in your decentralized web node. Now you can switch apps whenever you want, taking your social persona with you. Second use case being giving users control over their own data. Let's cite the example of another user, let's say his name is Bob, and describe him as a music lover who hates having his personal data locked to a single vendor, as it forces him to bring up his playlist and songs over and over again across different music apps. Thankfully, there's a way out of this maze of vendor locked silos. Bob can keep this data in his decentralized web node. This way, Bob can grant any music app access to his settings and preferences enabling him to take his personalized music experience wherever he chooses. Now, a question for you: what do you think about Web 5.0? Do let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for more such awesome videos.